and welcome to the Samurai Joinery workshop build. My name's Dale and I'm the Samurai Joiner. I'm looking at turning this space into a Japanese dojo workshop. I'm looking at fitting it out over the next 12 months. We're actually at an exciting phase because all the bones, all the structure is done, and now it's all about the aesthetics. So I look forward to getting into more detail, going into more detail as I go, and showing you how I build this place from the ground up. As you can see, we're pretty much stacked full of offcuts and bits and pieces everywhere at the moment. So what I'm looking to do today is clear all this out finally into the storage shed. So I've got racking on this side, it doesn't belong here. I've got sheets against the wall, they're going to get cleared out. All these offcut bins are going to go. I'm going to clean up these tables and whatever else I can find lying around that doesn't belong in here, that's getting put out in the storage shed. So here we go, have a look at this mess. I'm going to try and navigate my way through some timber lying on the ground. There's a little bit of a narrow path I can get through here. So first thing I'm going to do is switch on the power. There you go, so we've got lights. Just the one light at the moment. And back through I go around the other side here. Got some cement left over from our concrete pour a couple of weeks ago. Normally what I do is turn this little unit on here, which is going to help with airflow. There it goes. There, so that any dust that gets caught up in the air here gets sucked through this filtration unit. So I've got a little bit of work to do this morning. Just moving some materials. Let's get into it. Actually, before I do that, let's just have a look at our pathway. So pretty much everything's going to come through here, this entry door, roller door, around the corner here. There's a bit of undulating ground. I'm going to have to negotiate with the carts through to our storage shed. So that here is where I'm going to put all of our materials and timber. Not a big space, but we'll make it work. One other thing I wanted to mention, just over here, where all this construction mess is, eventually, this is what I want to turn into a bit of a Japanese Zen garden. So, right here, I'm going to clean this up, and I'm thinking at some stage building some sort of prototype temple. So that is something that we're looking at doing in the future. But a bit of work to go in the meantime, just a big clean-up job here. All this rubble here is going to have to be cleaned up, shuffled around. Anyway, let's get to work. I started by clearing out the new storage shed first, just to make sure I had somewhere organised to actually put everything. Once that was ready, I could start transferring materials, scraps and leftover build-up out of the main workshop. A lot of this stuff has just been piling up as I've been building wall frames, working on the slab and getting the shed together. And while it's easy to leave it there for now, eventually it starts eating into your workspace. The more I build, the more important it becomes to stay organised. Because if I can't move around properly in here, every future job becomes harder than it needs to be. In the last episode, we finished building the new storage shed out the back, and now it's finally time for that shed to do its job. So in this episode, the goal is simple: move everything that doesn't belong in here into the new shed. And we have our first wall bay cleared. So That is something I haven't seen for a little while. It might not be the flashiest job, but this is one of those steps that has to happen if I want Samurai Joinery to keep moving forward. Even just clearing a small amount of floor space starts to make a difference straight away. It gives me room to move, room to set up materials properly, and room to actually think about the next stage of the workshop instead of constantly working around the mess. This sort of job might not look massive on camera, but in terms of momentum, it's huge, because every bit of space I reclaim now makes the rest of the workshop build easier from here. As I kept working through the main workshop, one thing became really obvious: just how much scrap timber I've actually accumulated over time. It's one of those things where you don't really notice it building up, because every piece feels like it might be useful for something down the track. But eventually, it gets to a point where it starts taking up more space than it's worth. At the moment, this area is trying to do too many jobs at once. It's acting as storage, it's acting as a workspace, and it's also meant to be where I assemble projects, and it just doesn't work like that. If I want this to function properly, I need to separate those roles out. One thing that did slow me down a bit was moving the scrap bins themselves. These are on wheels, but the ground between the main workshop and the storage shed isn't exactly smooth. It's pretty uneven and full of rubble. So to get around that, I quickly set up a bit of a makeshift ramp system using some scrap plywood and MDF. Just enough to bridge over the rough sections, so I could actually roll the carts through without them getting stuck every couple of metres. And to be honest, it worked out better than I expected. Once the path was laid out, I could just wheel everything straight out of the main shed, down the side and into the storage shed without too much trouble. Getting these scrap carts out of the main workshop made a huge difference straight away. They were taking up a fair bit of space, and now they've got a proper home where they're still easy to access, but not in the way. When it comes to start a project, I want to be able to walk into a clean space, bring in the materials I've selected, and just focus on the build. Not spend the first half hour clearing a spot to work. For the last part of this cleanup, I moved back into the main workshop and started clearing off all the tables. Over time, they've just become dumping grounds, boxes of screws, tools, offcuts, random bits and pieces. Everything just ends up getting stacked wherever there's space. And it's something I've started to notice about the way I work. I've got a bit of a habit of putting things down wherever's convenient in the moment, instead of putting them back where they actually belong. It doesn't seem like a big deal at the time, but over a few days, or even a couple of weeks, it builds up. And before you know it, the whole workshop starts to feel cluttered and inefficient. So this part of the reset is all about sorting all of that out. Putting things back where they should be, clearing the surfaces and getting everything back to a point where it actually makes sense again. And it's amazing what that does. Not just for the space, but for your mindset as well. As things started to clear up, I could already feel myself thinking a bit more clearly about what needs to be done next. When the workspace is clean and organised, the workflow just feels smoother. You're not constantly searching for things, you're not working around clutter, and you can focus just on the job. And it's also been a bit of a reminder for me that the way I manage the space directly affects how efficiently I can work in it. If I let things build up and get out of control, everything becomes harder than it needs to be. But if I stay on top of it, even with just small resets like this, it makes a huge difference. By the end of it, the workshop is already feeling like a completely different space. Okay, so order is restored in the shed now. We actually have some room to work. It's a big day, but we got it all done. And now we can see how much space we have. Now we can actually use the machines. Look at that floor space. And this is the result from moving all the clutter. As you can see, we haven't got much more room. But that'll be a job in itself. Just organising all this stuff in here. And just like that, the workshop is already starting to feel like a completely different space. Clearing out the clutter, moving everything into the storage shed, and resetting the layout has made a massive difference. Not just visually, but in how this space is going to function going forward. In the next episode, I'll be starting on the ceiling cladding, which is going to completely change the look and feel of this space again. So if you want to follow the full build, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.